Doesn't take much to get the juices flowing. When I see this place, oh, man, I get fired up. Some of the greatest players, greatest games have been played in this place. The walls talk to each other. You'll see when you get in there. Yeah, it's great to be back. No place like it.
Tyrone Wheatley. Wheatley won't go down. Touchdown, Raiders. Jon Gruden elated.
Oh, yeah. Just how I remember it. Only better. My single most proud moment really was when Rich Gannon gave me a game ball. He gave me a game ball after one of the games. I think it was after the Jet game. It was great. Now, I'm sure I gave some speeches that weren't always the greatest. I tried to put my heart into it. A lot of times it's just Chucky coming out. He's just coming out. He's excited. He's very excited, especially after the wins. It's going to be good.
We've won 4 in a row against our divisional foes. That's quite an accomplishment by anybody's standard.
Well, the strongest memories are the big wins. Beating Kansas City, beating the Jets in the playoffs, shutting out Miami in the playoffs. Big wins. Those are the things you remember the most.
There's no doubt in your mind. There's no doubt in your mind. There can be no doubt. Listen, I got one game ball. Listen up, man. I got one game ball. This unbelievable guy now. This man is 39 years old.
Jerry Rice. What a performance.
Jerry Rice.
I bet I called Jerry today. He'd come and play. Play good, too.
You're never getting it back, whether you're an 8-time Pro Bowler or a no-time Pro Bowler like me.
It's an honor to coach here, man. There's nothing like winning. Nothing like winning with the Raiders. It's a lot nicer than it used to be. It'll do just fine. Well, I come in on the early bus. I'm here 3-4 hours before the game. I can't sleep much. So I get here early. I'll have my sideline sheet. I'll be going over the first 10 or 12 plays of the game, all the contingency plans. I'll meet with the quarterback. I'll meet with a couple coaches. I'll meet with the officials. And then I'll go back to my sideline sheet and come up with what I think the best 3rd and 3 call might be. And I'll start thinking about situations. Do I want to go for it? How's the weather? I got to go out and check on that. But I like to come in here and put my music in, listen to a little AC/DC, get fired up, and get focused and get ready to go. I love it. The dirt is still here. Real grass. Football. My first home game here in 1998, we played the Giants. We had a tough loss in Kansas City the first game, but my first home game, we got the ball on the 20. We ran 93 weak, handed it off to Napoleon Kaufman. 80 yards on the first play. That's how it all started for me, and that place was rocking. I remember coming here as the offensive coordinator when I was with the Philadelphia Eagles in '95. We got our brains beat in, man. They beat us 45-17, and they loved every second of it. And I flew back to Philadelphia, and I said, man, I wish I was coaching the Raiders. It's just something really special about this place. It's cool. It's unique. Some of the greatest players that ever played have played here. And some of the best games of all time have been played in here. And we got the best fans of all. And now it's time to get going. Time to get this thing going. One of the big reasons I wanted to come back and coach is I wanted to try to get the keys to this car. I wanted to start this thing and take it out for a drive. And based on what I've seen so far, the only thing that could get in our way is me. We've had one winning season in 14 years. It's about being consistent in this business. And if we can get that, good things are going to happen. Well, there's nothing like playing here. Nothing. I mean, you roll into the stadium, you get out of the bus, and some of the things you see in the parking lot you just don't see anywhere. The fans are unbelievable. They're here early, and they stay the entire game, and they raise hell at all times. And you don't want to let them down. And that's our goal now. We got to reestablish ourselves, and we got to give our fans what they deserve. Well, he's a good player. He has played multiple roles and played well when he's played. Physical guy. We think he can come in and get ready quickly to make a contribution. He's got size we like. He's an excellent blocker, high-effort player, detailed professional wideout, and he's going to give us some versatility and depth, which we need.
You're constructing the practice squad. Obviously, that's the 10-man group from which you'll probably add maybe multiple guys over the course of the season. How do you balance putting a guy in there who has a really high ceiling but maybe won't be able to be called upon for the 53 at any point this season with a guy who maybe is a little more NFL ready but maybe doesn't have that sort of potential?
Well, selfishly, we try to keep as many guys on the practice squad that were with us as possible so we can continue the developmental process. We still think we've got some really good young players that we work with all summer and spring that can help us down the road, and they know our system. And we also looked at who was available, who we thought we had a chance at getting. So there's a fine line there, but we do think all members of our practice squad have a chance to eventually help us at some point this year.
How good do you feel about Nugent? Being your
I feel good. He's kicked the ball well since he's been here. He's had a little bit of experience kicking off not only our dirt, but all kind of surfaces in this league. He's done it for a long time. I don't think he's going to be nervous and rattled. He gives us some mental stability and confidence at a position, I think, that it's critical.
What was the start of your relationship with Sean McVay?
We don't have a lot of time here today, but we go way back. You know, my dad worked for his grandfather, Jon McVay, University of Dayton, 1970. So we go all the way back, Grudens and McVays. Jon McVay helped my dad. I try to help any McVay I can. They've helped us throughout the years. We're a really close family. And got Sean out of Miami of Ohio, I should say. And kind of in a secretarial role to get him in the building. Next thing I know, he's out there helping Joey Galloway and our receivers play better. He's a great young coach and really a great friend. Can't wait to play against him.
What's it been like for you just to see him rise in this league and obviously the team that he has, the job that he's done down there in L.A.?
We got to try to slow down that rise. We got to try to douse the flames. He's smoking right now. It's been exciting, man. Anytime you see a young guy come into a profession and do what he's done, it's awesome. He's turned around a franchise that's really important to the NFL, and I'm really happy for him.
What kind of challenges does it pose with the Rams' defensive front with Sue right next to Donald?
That's a big challenge, no question. And they've got some young guys that we need to learn about on the outside. Robert Quinn is not there. Connor Barwin's not there. They got a new inside backer. Ogletree's not there. They've got two new corners that are also there. That's why you can't really watch last year's tape to help you get ready for this game. And they didn't play them in the preseason, more than half a dozen plays. So we'll see. We're going to see where they are, and they'll see where we are.
John, how quick a study has A.J. been since he got here in your offense?
Yeah, he's been quick. Yeah. It'll be a challenge, obviously, if he has to go in and play. But it's a challenge for any backup quarterback to go in and play. But I like McCarron. I think a lot of people in the league like McCarron. That's pretty obvious. And he's got a big upside. We'll try to get him ready if need be.
Maybe your best defense against this team is keeping the offense on the field. How do you sustain those drives against?
Hard to do. The easy thing is let's go out and let's have a pep talk and let's have 36 minutes of possession. You know, I used to work on those talk shows. You know, we need to have 36 minutes of possession. Well, you know, Wade Phillips, they're going to blitz. They're going to play an 8-man front, make it almost impossible to run the ball. So the best way to win this game is to do something when you have the ball. We're going to have to score. Obviously, when we get our chances to run it, we're going to have to deal with some loaded boxes and some talented Ram defenders, and I can't wait to see how we do it.
There's been a lot of change at cornerback here over the last several years, like 2 new guys almost every other year. How good do you feel about your 2 guys now, Melvin and Conley?
A lot of change around here every year, isn't there? The only thing that's still here is you, Jerry. I mean, really. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, we're going to have to wait and see. I mean, we played the Rams week 2 of the preseason. You would think we'd know about them. They'd know about us. But all of our starters on both teams were wearing sweatsuits. You know, we got a lot of respect for where we are, how hard we've worked. You know, I can't wait to see Conley play. It's the first time he's played football in a long time. And I'm excited to see Melvin. You know, I'm excited to see Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. He's only been here for a short period of time. Can't wait to see Leon Hall in his first game as a Raider. But we'll see. I'm not going to make any predictions.
The Rams have a pretty good slot receiver there, young guy, number 18. What have you seen from Connor just as you prepare for this?
About Cooper Kupp?
Yeah, Cooper Kupp, sorry.
Yeah, well, Greg Olson coached him in L.A. last year, and just about every route that we put in, the Rams run, and he always brings up Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp could run that route. You're starting to bother me, Greg. Kupp's a good player. Kupp's a really good player. Not many people know about him. He's overshadowed by some of the stars in L.A., but this guy can do damage as a slot receiver, as a blocker. He is a great conditioned young receiver that is polished when it comes to running all kind of routes.
Leon Hall, has been your guys' nickel for run of this. I'm not going to ask for what your lineup looks like, but what do you, in terms of his readiness to take on that matchup, if indeed that's what it is?
We do a lot of things. We don't just play man-to-man and say, hey, go match up on him every play. Leon Hall's here to blitz, to tackle, to be a formidable, physical, inside defender in our sub-package. And that's what he's been. That's what he's always been. And he's also here to show Nick Nelson what it's supposed to look like.
Brought in the veteran linebackers. What have been your impressions so far from those guys? And,
Ours?
Yeah, your guys, yeah.
Well, you know, Whitehead's been outstanding. Everything we've asked Whitehead to do, he's done at a high level. That's another position we've had no continuity at. We had to replace all them as well. So Whitehead's been good. Derek's come in and been a great leader. And the emergence of Markel Lee has been the story here, I think. We knew what Whitehead was, but so far I think the guy that's really emerged and steadily improved is Markel Lee. And Nick Morrow can play. Emmanuel Lemire knows the system. And we got a really good linebacker coach in Lippincott.
Any chance of the Raiders playing in Vegas in 2019?
Any chance of what?
The Raiders playing in Vegas in 2019?
You know, I don't know. I just hear a lot of rumors. I try not to listen too much to what's out there. I don't know what's true and what's not, but we're playing here Monday night. That's all I know.
For you, and I've heard you talked about this before, you're trying to win your first game in 10 years. For it to be against McVay, I know it's going to be special no matter what, but does that add a little something to have that guy who's...
No, I don't really care who we play. You know, it's we've always learned a long time ago the other team are faceless objects. You have to look at it that way. They can beat you up really bad in pro football, no matter who you play. So having the utmost respect for the Rams, obviously, you know, when the game's over, it'll be great to see Sean. But, you know, you got to treat every game as its own, and we want to win just because it's time to play.
Gets the green dot on defense for you guys on the helmet?
Well, we'll go with our middle linebacker. We'll go with Derek Johnson. It'll be Derek Johnson.
Donald told us 2 weeks ago he would hope to be 100% comfortable at right tackle by Monday. How do you see his comfort level there right now?
I think he's fine. I think he's doing well. He might be one of the few guys in the league that can be considered a top left tackle and a top right tackle. He's got, I think, that interest in doing that right now.
A lot of talk about Derek Johnson's leadership, and he's a captain, but his on-field play, you know, what have you seen from him, especially recently?
We're anxious to see it.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't really seen very many of our players play in a game throughout the preseason, but we're not the only team that can say that. So we're confident that he can not only lead us, but he can make plays. He's a very good pass defender. He's got a real good recognition for where the football is, and he's had a history of making a lot of tackles. Hopefully, he can prove that again with us.
Yesterday, you guys announced the captains. We all tweeted out, Kyle Wilber's one of them, and fans were like, who's Kyle Wilber? So who is Kyle Wilber?
He's our special teams captain. You know what? I think I said a few weeks ago, or a couple weeks, that a couple years ago, the Raiders had a very good nucleus of special teams players. They had Holmes and they had Trodwick and Bates, and we lost those players, and I think special teams suffered last year a little bit. So we wanted to bring in some core special teams guys. Dwayne Harris, who's been in the Pro Bowl, and Kyle Wilber, who played for Bisaccia in Dallas, is a force, not only on the coverage teams, but also in protecting the punter. So he gives us some real leadership and playmaking in that unit. And some people tend to forget they can help you win games, although they're not involved in fantasy football much.
Do you like the intrigue of week one where you got something they haven't seen what you guys are going to do? They probably have some wrinkles that you guys haven't seen. Do you like that as a coach? Do you like that kind of intrigue?
It's intriguing, that's for sure. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, they play 4 preseason games. You don't see one of their starters play. Not many of our starters played very much. That's universal now around the league, I think. But it'll be a challenge, I think. We're going to have to make some adjustments to what they're doing. I'm sure they have a lot of secrets up their sleeves that they haven't shown. So that's why we have the Microsoft tablets now on the sidelines, so we can make the adjustments as soon as possible.
Coach, AJ McCarron has been here for a little over a week now. You said he'll be here day in and day out learning the playbook. Can you tell us how the learning process has gone so far for him?
He's done really good. I think Brian Callahan, our quarterback coach, has done a great job with him. He's taken him out of our meetings, really, and isolated a one-on-one fast-tracking meeting with him, teaching him the nuances of our snap count, our personnel packages, audible system, all that stuff. But he's a quick study. He learned it fast in Cincinnati, and he learned it fast in Buffalo, and he'll learn it fast here.
Maybe as nervous / excited for this game as you were the first game you ever coached with the Raiders?
I'm just as excited, and get the butterflies. It's the same way every year, especially opening day. It's special. This is really special for me. I know there's been a lot of news this week with what has happened, but I want to do everything I can to help bring the Raiders back, and I really like the effort that our team has put forth, our coaching staff, and it'll be special going out there Monday night, that's for sure.
You guys good? Okay.
All right, guys, have a good day.
Now, there is a reason why I posted that footage there, and it has everything to do with everything that's gone in the past 2 weeks, everything that's gone on. We all know all the moves that we've had to make. We all know everything that most of this had to be done because of what's gone on the past 3 seasons with the Raiders, borrowing money from the NFL, moving to Las Vegas, giving out extensions to players who didn't deserve extensions, and coaches. Okay. There was a lot of money thrown around. And there's no way we can deny any of that. There was way too much money thrown around when we started off with, it was over $80 million in cap room by the start of the 2017 season. Okay. All the moves that we made in the 2017 season leading up to this season, we started off with $2 million, and that was before the whole Khalil Mack trade issue. The reason why Jon Gruden was brought in here was to fix everything that's going on in the front office. I don't see why everybody doesn't see that, especially a lot of you who are bashing Jon Gruden. Okay. There was obvious signs of lack of organization inside of the office part of the Raiders. And with my biased opinion, I just believe that there was a lot of money thrown around that shouldn't have been thrown around. Jack Del Rio got a 4-year contract extension. Now, even though I've dug deep and I've looked real hard to find out what those terms to that contract were, I can't find them. We don't know how much was guaranteed. And as far as I know, The only people who do know about that contract extension and the terms of it would be in between Jack Del Rio and Mark Davis himself. You look at all the free agent transactions that we had. Cordell Patterson. There was a few others in there, man. Outrageous contracts. Seth Roberts, given an outrageous contract over, what, 1-2 good seasons? Money was thrown around like crazy, and this coaching staff that was there before, who gave themselves these lucrative extensions and these lucrative pay raises, couldn't keep control of the team when the shit hit the fan. That's why Jon Gruden's back. He's back to fix all of that and turn us back into a Super Bowl contender. And with all the moves and everything that's happened, you guys can blame the Khalil Mack trade on the front office for the last 2 years that were there. So sick and tired of how, let's blame Jon Gruden for all these moves. No, these moves had to be made. These moves had to be made because of what our front office has done for the past 2 seasons. 3 seasons. We got 1 12-4 season out of the past 13 years. The rest of the other seasons, we've been either even or losing. So anyway, that's why I post this up. Because I do believe in our coach. I do believe our coach is making the right moves to make sure that we can be contenders. Even though mainstream media wants to say that, pump the brakes on that, we're not going to be contenders yet, and there's still some pieces that aren't in place. The pieces are there. Everything is there. All we have to do is execute. It's the commitment to excellence. And Jon Gruden knows that better than anybody else in the building. There is a lot riding on him, especially with his lucrative 10-year, $100 million contract. So don't get it twisted, guys. Don't get it twisted. All right? He's going to be playing to win. Trust me. And he puts us in the best situation ever. And anybody who says that Jack Del Rio should still be the coach of this team obviously did not see the off-camera issues that happened inside of that locker room. I mean, literally, we were being reported on by mainstream media and alternative media about how the team was imploding from the inside out from the locker room. And you want that coaching staff back? You want a coach who's going to pick Todd Downing as his offensive coordinator. I didn't like Bill Musgrave either, but there was no way I would have promoted Todd Downing. No way, not even in a million years would I have promoted Todd Downing. So don't give me that crap on, this team would be better off with the old coaching regime. Because no, it wouldn't. We would be overspending, and we would be in the hole, and we would still have a 6-10, 5-11 season. But we'd have the best player on defense in the NFL. But we would have lackluster corners who couldn't keep up, couldn't catch a cold against other wide receivers. So anyway, I did want to kind of, there's not much news going on with the Raiders, not much news at all. And as you can see, I got myself a new fitted hat here, and there's actually kind of a little short story behind that. I went to the mall for the first time, and I don't really get out much unless I go to work, and when I go to work, I'm all over the place, but I don't ever get time to go to places like the mall or anything like that. But I swear, if you are looking for a nostalgic factor, if you're looking for a nostalgic side in your life, go to the mall. Now, the only reason why I had to go is because my wife went, and she bought me this hat here. And as you can tell, it is a Raider hat, but you can't really see it because it's black on black. Nice hat, man. Really nice hat. And, she got the wrong size. My head's not all that, it's not all that big. you know. So she got me a, I believe it was a 7 1/4, 7.5, but it happened to be too big. I need a 6 7/8. So I went back to, we went back to the mall. This is the first time I've been to the mall in years. And wow, how there's literally, I mean, there are stores, you know, don't get me wrong, but there's places like in our mall, we don't have a Hot Topic anymore. All of our food court places, this was the crazy thing, all of our food court places have all been changed to off-the-wall brand stuff. We have like Hamburger 101 and Pawalo's Pizza. I mean, these are things that I have never even heard of. And then there was Wings and Things for the, and they had Philly cheesesteak sandwiches and stuff like that. But I mean, literally no Burger King, no Chick-fil-A, no Wendy's, no Taco Bell. And these are all the places that I remember being inside malls and being inside the food court, you know. But I thought it was kind of crazy. But, I mean, literally, if you are looking for a nostalgic factor into going back in the day to what it was like to go shop commerce and shop like a normal individual instead of going online and getting everything sent to your house, go to the mall. For real, it's a blast from the past, and it takes you back. The only thing that you really have to avoid are the inner vendors that are down the middle of the hallways. They will harass the hell out of you trying to sell you shit that you don't need. Like perfume or lotion, just all kinds of garbage. Well, we got this store in there, and there's a reason why I come up with this, you know, why I'm saying this story, because I don't, like I said, I don't go out much, and when I do, you know, hey, I like to go out and splurge a little bit. So I went to this place here, man, where the hat I got at Lids, that's actually where this hat was purchased at. But we have an NFL store in there, and I had no idea that we even had an NFL store in our mall. And it's called Pro Image Sports. And man, dude, these guys had everything you could possibly ever want, from jerseys to house shoes, socks, shot glasses. I mean, literally, they had everything, man. They had a Oakland Raiders throwback football helmet in there for $200. It was the black helmet with the white logo. Man, it was throwed, dude. I should have got a couple pictures of it, but I didn't even think about it, because when I went in there, man, there was really one thing I was looking for, and I was really trying to find something that was you know, to match the throwed hat on what would be a good backdrop for behind me. So I literally shelled out money for the first time on Raider memorabilia that I have since the NFL protest, because I had to have it. And I'm going to tell you what, man, for $40, dude, I've got me a 3-foot by 5-foot house flag that I'm going to hang behind me from now on. I'm pretty sure a few of you guys already have this. This is going to be a real good addition to my Raider wall out in my other room over here. But I just wanted to let you guys know, if you guys are looking for anything Raiders and you happen to be in a section of the country like I am, to where either you can only find it online, see if you can go to the mall and see if they've got an NFL store in there. You guys probably have your own version. Ours happens to be Pro Image Sports. And you can find their website at proimagesports.com. And you can also find them on Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus and YouTube. So anyway, that's the end of this segment of the Raider Critique. I hope everybody has enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the press conferences. I did a little tweaking to the volume to try to get it to sound better than the last video I posted with Paul Gunther and Greg Olson. So I'm hoping that the audio came out a little bit better. But anyway, Raider Nation for life, guys. And let's go win week 1 against the Lambs.